This is the MoCoFootball.com. This is the MoCoFootball.com weekly podcast. Talking to Jake Funk, the superstar running back, safety, linebacker, do everything guy from Damascus High School. Jake, you guys had a historic run last year. Really brought a lot of the championship pride back to the community. Played with a lot of toughness and grit that the classic Damascus teams are known for. You individually had a great year, 1,800 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, while still being a force on the defensive side of the ball as well. You guys had a big lead in the state championship game, had everybody thinking that this is the year that Damascus goes back to the championship form that we all know and love. Second half starts, it kind of slipped away, ended up losing in the fourth quarter. After you guys had a few days to sit back, and you personally had a few days to sit back and look back on the season, what do you think about the season overall, and what are the things that you guys have to improve on for next year?
I thought, overall the season was a huge success for us. I mean, obviously we had a goal in mind to win the state championship, and it didn't happen. But did a lot of things last year that the program hadn't done in a while.
Right.
We hadn't been to the state championship since '07. And then obviously, the last 2 years before that, we lost in the first round each time.
Right.
And, and some things we're building off of this year, is, we gotta be in better shape, as a team.
Right.
We had that state championship game in the second half that, died on us, including myself. I was tired. They ran that, hurry up offense.
Right.
That definitely wore down our defense a little bit. But yeah, that's one thing that our coaches are stressing for this year is, just the overall conditioning of the team.
Talking about the offseason conditioning and everything that's going on, how's the offseason going? I know you guys graduated a lot of key players. Have the young guys taken on and stepped up into that role and taken to the leadership that you guys, specifically you, have been trying to put on them?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we lost a lot of, very good players. But, I'm starting to see, some of these young kids, sophomores and juniors, starting to step up, taking in those roles that, that the last senior class left for them.
Right.
It's nice to see.
Right. And for you individually, it's been a great few months. I mean, you pulled down some D1 offers, including Wisconsin recently. Talk about that, how great that felt, and getting that first offer and then out the Wisconsin offer.
It felt really good, It felt really good, to see hard work pay off.
Right.
I'm not finished yet, that's what I tell myself.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be, okay, I got a couple offers and now sit back and be complacent,
Right.
I want to go out there and get as many as I can from an individual standpoint.
Right.
And then also, I still have a year of high school left.
Right.
So, I'm part of Damascus first.
I remember, before the championship game, some Franklin guys were coming on saying that, you weren't D1, blah, blah, blah. They said that you didn't have the height, weight, speed, and all the other stuff. I know you heard that kind of talk, and knowing you wanted to prove everybody wrong, and you've gone out. Not only have you pulled down the offers, you've gone out and went to all these camps and put up great numbers in the top 20 in every single category. Has there been a chip on your shoulder to prove to everybody that not only you're a D1 player on the field, but also your overall athleticism?
Yeah, that definitely is. A lot of people, consider me, a big power back from Damascus, and I talk to my family and my coaches and stuff, and I don't like to be considered a power back.
Right.
Power backs are just big and slow, and, and I had to go out and prove that I wasn't. And I think I did. I proved that I had the athleticism to do it.
Knowing how competitive you are, I know you look around the county, not only in this county, but around the state, around the region, and you make sure you know what's going on. Is there a player that you're looking, or players that you look at as kind of like a benchmark, or somebody that you're kind of keeping an eye on, that you kind of compare yourself with?
I don't really compare myself to any football player around here. I look at myself as an individual.
Right.
What I do may be different from what another guy does, and I yeah, I'm not here to compare myself to anybody.
You guys are going into the 7-on-7 season. Talk about what your team is looking like mentally for 7-on-7 ball.
Yeah, our team is definitely in 7-on-7. We're going to be young. You know, there's going to be some mistakes, you know, from the DBs and the quarterback. You know, obviously we got some young guys stepping in the DBs, and we got a new quarterback. And, you know, so, you know, I'm anticipating some mistakes, but, you know, it's definitely going to be a learning process for these guys, and I think it's going to really benefit them, you know, in terms of the speed of the varsity game, and also, you know, the mental side of it, you know, how much of the mental side you need.
Talking about being young, there's a guy that a lot of people in the county are kind of interested in, Marcus Vincent. And talk about Marcus and what he means to the team. And he's kind of like an X-factor guy. A lot of people don't know where exactly he's going to be playing. And he obviously had a good state championship game, especially in the first half and the first quarter. Talk about what he's going to bring to the team next year.
You know, Marcus is going to be, you know, he's going to bring a little versatility to our offense. You know, he's really fast. You know, and you know, he really pushes me, you know, when we and everything like that. You know, he's legitimately fast.
Right.
You know, he also played quarterback.
Right.
Youth ball.
Right.
So I mean, we could do a lot of things with him, whether he's at quarterback or a running back or at receiver. He could play a little receiver. He just will, you know, bring a lot of versatility to the offense.
Right.
You know, he's just one of those guys that you can throw him in almost any condition, and he'll be good at it.
Continuing on the theme of you guys being young, a lot of expectations come with playing at Damascus, as you know. And every year, everybody expects you guys to win every single year. It's kind of like, you know, LeBron with the Cavs. Like, no matter what team LeBron's on, they expect him to win. It doesn't matter if, like, every single player's injured or whatever. You guys are young, coming off a year where you guys went to the state championship, lost a lot of guys. Are the expectations a little bit tempered, or is it still states or bust for you guys?
You know, honestly, you know, we got big expectations for this team. You know, even though we got a lot of guys leaving, you know, we got a lot of good guys returning.
Right.
And, you know, we have the same expectations for this team as we did last year's team.
Talking about just the 3A in general, there's a team over there you know pretty well, Seneca Valley. They're looking like they're pretty good. Have you kind of kept an eye on them? You know, the team that they have right now, how have they been looking and hearing some of the things that have been going on with them? Or are you kind of like, I'll see them when we see them?
Yeah, you know, we keep our eye on Seneca every year, you know.
Right.
They're not like a chip in. Even last year, you know, they weren't as great, but, you know, we still, you know, every single year, we're watching out for Seneca.
Right.
You know, and on any given day, they can beat any given team.
Right.
This year, I know they got a lot of guys returning.
Right.
You know, I'm excited. You know, we play them a week later than usual. I mean, it's going to be a great game with them.
And last question, before I let you go, I know that you've made it clear that 2,000 yards is a goal that you want to achieve. You know, what does that number kind of mean to you? Does it mean anything special to you? And if so, what will that moment be like when you finally reach it?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something special to me. You know, it put me in a different category for Damascus running backs.
Right.
I mean, it just means a lot. You know, it's very honoring for me. You know, to reach that mark.
Right.
You know, it would make me feel like, you know, accomplished pretty much, you know, for my last year. So. Absolutely. That'd be one heck of an accomplishment, man. And probably solidify you, if not the All-Metro Player of the Year, but one of those guys will be in that conversation. Well, Jake, thank you for your time, man. I know you're a busy man, so you know I'm going to let you get out of here. So, you know, again, thank you for what you do for MoCo, and we'll see you during the season. All right. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.